good evening. Welcome to 9th and 10th channel of BYJU'S. I'm your teacher Ankita and I welcome you in a very, very special class, everyone, where we will be doing the reading of the NCERT and we'll be marking the important questions. So I hope that all of you are ready for the class. Good evening, everyone. I can see so many of you are here with us. Please make sure to stay with us till the end. It's a 1 hour long session, so we will be covering up the whole chapter. So please make sure to stay with us till the end. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Yes. And those of you who are new to our channel, if you're watching this video for the very first time, please take a moment and hit that subscribe button. Yes. Good evening. Yes. Good evening, everyone. How are you all? Sab badhiya ekdam. I hope that I am clearly audible and visible to each one of you. Hello. Yes. I'm good. Thank you for asking. I hope that all of you are good. Right, so today we have a very important agenda, everyone. Today we'll be looking at the NCERT. NCERT reading, not line by line, of course. We'll be looking at the important concepts all together and, of course, the in paragraph hidden questions. And let's get started with it. Yes. So I hope that all of you have your NCERT textbook, everyone. Please, if you haven't, just quickly go and get the NCERT textbook. I'll wait for 1 minute. Yes. Till that time, everyone, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please make sure to subscribe. And if you are new here, if you haven't watched the videos on the life process chapter, everyone, do take a moment and do take a screenshot of all of this and please go and watch it. So we have covered the whole chapter. We have chunks of the chapter in different concepts. We can see over here, right? So everyone, it's good if you get a chance to watch all of these videos. Please do that. Yes, recently we did the question answers, right? Ashwara ma'am did the 5 marks subjective questions, 2 marks subjective questions, and we had the objectives also. So yeah, we all have that. Okay, now everyone, we are switching to the book, right? So everyone, I'm just giving you time. Quickly go and get your textbook. Good evening, everyone. I hope that all of you are doing good. Many of you asked me when we'll be starting with the next chapter. We will start the next chapter really very soon. Okay, yes, now I can see that you're writing that, ma'am. We have a unit test examination. I'm sure you'll do good. Good, very good. We don't have Menti today. It's the NCERT reading. Everyone quickly go and get your NCERT textbook. See, we all know that reading NCERT is important. All of you will agree that, ma'am, NCERT is definitely is important. But sometimes what happens, we don't know how to read the textbook. We know how to read per se, but we don't know how to utilize the NCERT textbook that we have. So what we'll be doing in today's class, we'll be looking throughout the chapter, we'll be looking at the paragraphs and the important points that can come, right? So all of you, quickly give me a thumbs up. All of you are ready? Yes, I hope that all of you are ready for the class. Quickly thumbs up and we'll start. I don't want to waste any of your precious time. I know that your time is really very crucial. So let's just stay focused. And those of you who are just talking some parallel conversation here and there, I would request you to please stop it and let's just focus on the class. And I will be taking up doubts after some time. So please hold on to your doubts. And when there's a doubt board or doubt discussion, please do ask them. Okay. So let's get started, everyone. Now this, I don't have to tell you. It's the most important chapter in class 10th, biology. No doubt over here, right? It's the most important chapter, life process. It has digestion, it has respiration, circulation, excretion. Koi dohrai nahi, it's the most important chapter and from this we have the bulk of it. So now when we talk about this chapter, in the very first paragraph, everyone, they're just talking about the living organism. Right? They're talking about the living organism, that why we call a living organism, right? What are the important criteria for it? So, we haven't seen a question being asked from here, but they can ask you that what are the characteristic features of a living organism? Everyone, quickly write in the chat box, what are the important characteristic features? We have discussed it. I can see one, movement. Very good. Good evening. They are important, but most important chapter in biology is life process. Movement, respiration, digestion, growth, reproduction, excretion, breathing. Very good, everyone. So if you look at this particular paragraph, right, They are talking about that. They are saying that plants are also living. But yeah, definitely they have also growth, but they don't move. So there is a comparison between the living and the non-living and the important characteristics of the living. So in this paragraph, please put a tick, right, or please note this down. Right, what we have the features of living organisms. Clear? So this is very important. Usually ask for 2 marks, right? But please make sure you read this part thoroughly. Okay? I told you what is important in this paragraph. Okay. Then of course, what are life processes? Easy, right? What are life processes? Those processes that actually help us to stay alive. We call it as the life processes. We have various type of chemical reactions, metabolism, right? We have catabolic reaction, anabolic reaction. Something is created, something is getting broken down. All of these reactions are happening inside a body that actually make us living. If we have this bottle of sanitizer, does this bottle can do any reactions by itself? 1 hour duration, tell me. Can this bottle or can this duster reproduce? No, right? It cannot grow by itself. Yeah, if we add something to it, it can. But of course, this is not. So, the important features of the life, the important characteristics of the life is that we have the various chemical reaction. There's a maintenance that is required, right? There's a continuous process that actually is there to maintain the living organism. So, this is very important in this particular paragraph that we have over here. Now, everyone in this paragraph, right, that you see over here, they're talking about that these maintenance processes are happening. There's a repair and the damage also, right? When we are working, when we're doing a lot of stuff, there's a damage also. To prevent the damage, we have other processes also. We need energy, right? And apart from that, we need the nutrition. Of course, there will be the amount of transportation as well as the excretion also. So everyone, are we clear up to here? Yes, quick thumbs up. Everyone, I want all of you to stay focused. We can do quick reading. Jaldi se. Yes, absolutely. Living organism do metabolism work, बच्चे बिल्कुल कृति. Reactions हो रहे हैं ना body में. We have the reactions happening inside a body. Metabolic reactions, right? Yes, very good. Yes, we'll have the session and the reason. Don't worry. Yes, good. Thank you for helping with these topics. Okay, chaliye. Now, if you talk about this, the other 2 paragraphs, right? The paragraphs that we have over here, they just talk about the different processes that we have over here. Outside energy is vital. We saw the conversion of it, right? We saw that, it is getting oxidized. Other things, everything that we will be discussing now, they have given a gist of it, okay? They've talked about the multicellular and unicellular organism. Basically, it's just coming under the characteristic features and going into the detail of the life processes. So everyone, are we clear up to here? Yes, now I'll take your doubts. We will have the one-shots later. What about the viruses? Viruses are the non-living organisms. They are living only inside our body, non-living outside the body of the host. NCERT is enough. Apart from that, please make sure to have the questions bank, right? And you practice more and more questions. Very good. Yes. Chaliye. Okay. I hope it's clear, everyone. Ma'am, if reproduction is a life process, can we live without it? Reproduction, see, is a very important process. But it's not we don't usually call it as a life process per se. Even though the organism, for example, if a living organism is not performing reproduction, they'll still be called as living. Yes or no? So there is a constant debate that whether reproduction is a part of a life process, very important process for the continuation of the generation. But if an organism is not reproducing, they can live, right? They can live aaram se. So usually we end up saying that it's not a life process. Clear? Good. So till now what we discussed about the features of the living organisms and of course the life process and why the life processes are important. There's a need of the nutrition, there's a need of the energy production, there's a need of the transportation throughout the body and of course a need of the excretion. Chaliye, everyone, I hope that it's good. Good to go from here? Very good everyone. Yes, important diagrams bhi I will discuss when we are discussing this. Notes are important definitely. Believe me ma'am, notes में अच्छा जूनियर वर्ड बोल रहा है कि मैम नहीं मिल रहे हैं, बच्चे मिल रहे हैं. आई विल चेक बाय माई सेल्फ. अभी तो नोट्स हम भेज ही रहे हैं. वी हैव द नोट्स, सो प्लीज जस्ट चेक. चलिए, नाउ एवरीवन, न्यूट्रिशन. नाउ बिफोर यू आस्क मी क्वेश्चन, कैन आई आस्क यू क्वेश्चन? व्हाट इज न्यूट्रिशन? जल्दी से. राइट, व्हाट इज न्यूट्रिशन? In-text question, we have done it in the previous sessions. We will not be discussing it today. We are just looking at the NCERT as such. Good evening, good evening. Ashu, let's just focus in class. सब बच्चे पढ़ाई में busy हैं. आप भी पढ़ाई करो. Intake of food, very good. So now we're talking about the nutrition. How do living things get their food is something which is very interesting. In this paragraph, they've talked about how the living organisms get their food and how we get it. Of course, we have autotrophs and of course they have mentioned about the heterotrophs. So in this particular paragraph, what we have the modes of nutrition. Everyone, I hope that you're noting this down. Right, in this paragraph, we have the modes of the nutrition. Two modes we have, autotrophs and heterotrophs. Right, they have gone into detail that autotrophs make their own food. Plants is the example. Heterotroph depends upon other organism. Okay, they just talked about this over here. So are we clear with this? Good. Now everyone comes a super important paragraph. Autotrophic nutrition or the photosynthesis wala paragraph. Okay, super crucial paragraph everyone. In this we have to just remember 3 steps. That's it. Right? So they have gone into detail and have said कि अच्छा carbohydrate है, सब है. You all know those important things. Plants require carbon dioxide, water in the presence of sunlight, and of course in the chlorophyll they will be producing the glucose, water, and of course release of the oxygen. Right? So this paragraph talks about it. One of the important thing that how they are getting the food stored. Right? They have mentioned about the glycogen also. And starch. See, this is important point. The carbohydrate, right, which is produced the glucose, right, which actually serves as the energy medium, very important, but it gets stored, right, in a form of starch. This is also important. Internal energy reserve, okay, and whenever there is a scarcity of the nutrition, starch will be used. Clear? Yes, everyone, I hope that this is clear. Chalo. Okay, listen everyone. I can see many of you are asking questions about the other topics. Bachcho, please just stay focused with me. After nutrition, I'll take your doubts on the nutrition. Once we go into the respiration, we will have discussion of those doubts. Yes? Done right? Very good. Chaliye. Telegram group 9th and 10th. BYJU'S 9th and 10th. Okay. Everyone, now this page is super important. Page number 96. It has so many important things. So please make sure you stay with me. Now what this page has, first of all, it has the reaction, which is important. Question can be asked in the examination directly. Write the 3 steps of photosynthesis or write the steps of photosynthesis. Here we have absorption of the light energy by the chlorophyll, then conversion of light energy to chemical energy and splitting of the water molecule into hydrogen and oxygen, and reduction of the carbon dioxide to carbohydrates. Simple 3 easy steps. Please make sure you remember all of these. Then, once you are done with this, look at this diagram. How many of you have seen last year ka paper? Jaldi se raise your hand. I'm sure all of you have seen last year ka paper, sample paper. Right? Practice paper also. We have this question. It's there. Right? So please make sure you go and check it out. Yes. Very good. And many of you saying, ma'am, page number 2 hai. So this, the book that we have is a new book. And I'm just telling you the page number according to this. But it could be different in your book if it's old book. Yes. So please make sure to remember this. Upper epidermis. Remember the labelings also everyone. So what we have the upper epidermis. On top of it we have the waxy cuticle. We have the chloroplast, air gaps, guard cells, lower epidermis. Now what are these? Can anyone tell me what are these cells? Jaldi say. I'm sure when Aishwarya ma'am taught you, ma'am specifically mentioned this. Yes. What are these cells? Everyone, can anyone tell me? Jaldi say, what are these cells? We have two types of cells. Palisade cells and mesophyll cells. Right? Very good. Absolutely correct. So you can write these cells. Okay? Yes. So please make sure to remember these things. Okay. So this is important in this page. Right? Now, we have one more important activity. Right? So please make sure everyone to remember this activity also. What are we doing over here? We are taking leaves. Right? We are keeping them in the dark for 3 days. We'll be doing the starch test. Right? And of course, once we do, we'll know that if it's bluish black, starch is present. If it's not there. So the test is really very easy. Right? But remembering the results is super critical and super important. Yes. Diagrams can be asked in your examination in terms of, they will ask you to identify it. Yes. Okay. Chaliye everyone. So are we clear with this page? Are we clear with this page? This diagram is, bache, this is the diagram of the leaf, cross section of the leaf, right? This particular diagram is telling us about what are the different types of cells that are present. Okay. We can see the chloroplast over here. They can ask you to identify the cell. Clear? Blue-black means the starch is present. Absolutely. Super proud of you, everyone. Lots of love. Chaliye. Now, very cute question, everyone. 2 marks question. If it comes, I'm just hoping it should come, right? About the stromata. Now, stromata plays a very important role in the exchange of the gases, right? And of course, plays a very important role in releasing the excess amount of water through the process of transpiration also. So here in this particular paragraph, right, they have talked about this. They have talked about the gaseous exchange. They have talked about the guard cells, how the guard cells are swelling up and allowing the exchange, right? Water move in, cells swells up. Water move out, cells just come back to its original position. Shreya, hopefully they will not ask you to draw the diagram. It is a trend which has been following. They're not asking you to draw the diagram, but they can ask you to identify the diagram and they can ask you to label the parts. Very good. Yes, we have the notes, Ankit, already in the channel. Ansh, बच्चे discuss करते हैं अभी. Yes. You're calling plants as vegetarian, is it? Yes, Karthik, we're talking about these stromata. Everyone, what are stromata? Stromata are present on the leaf epidermis, right? Less on the upper epidermis and more on the lower epidermis. And stromata are the small pores and they have a small stromatal pore, right? So guard cells will be protecting that, and as the water moves inside the guard cells, they will swell. And of course, the pore will open. So of course, the water will move in, gas will move out, whatever exchange is happening, gaseous exchange will happen at that particular time. And when the water moves out and other, of course, we will see the coming back to its original position. Yes, very good. Chaliye. Mithun, so many of you are here. I'm trying my best to reply to each one of you, but everyone, please do pay attention. Right? Yes, chaliye. So this is important, everyone. Now let's talk about this part. How many of you have seen this experiment? Right? How many of you have seen this experiment? We have the potted plants, right? And what we have over here, we have it with the potassium hydroxide, KOH. I'm sure you remember the KOH. Why we perform the experiment with KOH? Yes. Very good. KOH actually help in the absorption. It will be absorbing which gas? CO2. So we have this experiment where they have kept two plants in a same size. 3 days bahar, ekdam in the darkness they have kept. And then of course they have added a glass plate on it. And of course they have kept it, right? What they saw, they have sealed the jar with the jelly so that, there's no gas in out, it's not happening. And then they have kept it in the sunlight. After plucking the leaf, they are checking the presence of the starch. right? And now we have to identify where we'll have the starch formation. Now, with this experiment, we can actually find the carbon dioxide wala respiration point also, and of course the presence of starch also. Yes, Anurag, we don't have the experiment on the transpiration as such, right? So we will see. We have that one experiment. There's little bit mention of that. We'll discuss that. Yes, saliva. What do you mean by saliva? Saliva is the juicy content which is released by the salivary glands. Absolutely correct. KOH absorb karta hai CO2. Good. Okay. So everyone, quick thumbs up. Are we clear up to here? Jaldi se. Yes. Yes. Good. Good. I will be taking your doubts. Give me some time, but we have to finish. Arey, bahut bada chapter hai. We're still on the nutrition. Okay. Chaliye. So this activity, everyone, again, talk about the presence of the various molecules, right, on the soil. And now, after that, we are here at the heterotrophic nutrition. Now, I don't have to tell you that how important this is. In the heterotrophic nutrition, everyone, they have talked about the different nutrients altogether. They have talked about, for example, we have the fungi, right? Fungi follow which type of they follow the saprophytic mode of nutrition, right? That is super important. We have deer. Of course, it's a holozoic mode of nutrition, right? And we have one more type of nutrition. Yes, we have parasitic mode of nutrition, which is not directly mentioned. Karkis, there's only one small point that they have mentioned. Okay, here. So they have mentioned about the three different types of nutrition: holozoic mode of nutrition, saprophytic mode of nutrition, and parasitic mode of nutrition. Clear? Yes? We have it over here. Chaliye. Now comes our favorite, everyone, amoeba. How does amoeba obtain its food? So for amoeba and paramecium, it's same. Mostly, all, approximately, I would say every step is same. Clear? So this is important, right? Ingestion, intake of the food, digestion, breaking down of the food, assimilation, right? Absorption, taking the food, assimilation, distributing the food and utilizing it, and egestion, releasing the food. Yes, so everyone, these are the basic steps that we have in amoeba. They can ask you to identify the different steps. They'll not ask you to draw. Okay? They'll not ask you to draw. They can ask you how amoeba take its nutrition. Write the steps, follow the steps, right? Complete the pathway, something like this. Okay? Chaliye. Now everyone, yes, we have the nutrition in human beings. Can I just say it's important? हाँ, ये तो नहीं बोलोगे मैम आप तो सब कुछ important बोल रहे हो. Yes, right? What do you think, everyone? See, nutrition now in human beings, or as we call it, as we understand with the help of the alimentary canal also, right? This part is definitely important. Now, what are important things over here? I will be writing, everyone. Please write it along with me. So, what are the types of question that it comes? Right? The question that comes are majorly based upon the gastric juices. Right? What are the gastric juices we have? We have HCl, we have pepsin, and we have mucus. Right? So these are the three important juices we have in the gastric. Then of course, digestion starts in where? Digestion starts in mouth. And which enzyme is there? We have the salivary amylase, right? Which gland is making this enzyme? Salivary gland. So these are the two important points that we have, right? Not going in the paragraph, but yeah, over here we have biocatalyst. What are enzymes? Are the biocatalyst? They actually help in speeding the rate of reaction, right? Okay. Yes, so that's important. Two important thing over here. HCl, what it does is protect the mucus, what it does, it protects the inner wall of the stomach. HCl kills the germ that are entering along with the food. Pepsin helps in the digestion of the protein. In the stomach, pepsin is not directly present, right? There is an important enzyme which is called as the pepsinogen. Let me just quickly go a little bit over here, right? Yes. So over here they have talked about this, right? Rhythmic contraction, right? They have spoken about the peristalsis movement in esophagus. Then of course they are talking about the hydrochloric acid, protein digesting enzyme pepsin, and the mucus. They've specifically mentioned about the pepsinogen, right? So when you're reading it, everyone, yes, you can mention about this pepsinogen also, but it's okay, right? But if you are asking, you can write HCl2 function helps in converting pepsinogen into pepsin, which is an active enzyme, and helps in killing the germs. Everyone, are we clear? Yes, everyone, are we clear? Good, very good. Catalyst. So S.B. Mukherjee, catalysts are something that are actually helping the reactions, I would say, right? So biocatalysts, who are these catalysts? They are coming in between the reaction, helping in the rate of reaction, smoother rate of reactions. Okay. Now, after this, everyone, where the food moves? The food moves to the small intestine, right? And of course, there we have the release from the bile juice. So over here, they've talked about the sphincter muscle, right? They've mentioned about the small intestine over here. Then they have talked about, see this paragraph, tiger versus cow, basically herbivores versus the carnivores. This question is over here. See over here in this paragraph, we have that question, that why the herbivores small intestine is larger as compared to the carnivores. I'm sure all of you remember this. I'm sure all of you remember this question in the various sample paper question papers. Clear, everyone? Very good. Yes. Yes, Ankit. Okay, Gurjeet. Junior word Gurpal. एक ही notes गए हैं, right? History का एक ही पूरा notes है, उसमें सब कुछ है. Everything is there. There is no separate notes for third and fourth. Those of you, everyone, if you are asking for the notes, please, just requesting you, please don't spam over here. The notes are out on the channel, on the Telegram group, so please go and watch it. It's there. Okay? Chaliye. Now we have the important thing, everyone. Small intestine. It's a site of complete digestion and absorption, right? We all remember. The complete digestion and absorption happens in the small intestine. Complete digestion of all the food and the absorption. So in this particular part, they are talking about the small intestine. Later here, they are talking about the bile secretion. They are talking about the pancreatic enzymes that are there. Bile juices made in the liver, stored in the gallbladder, released through the duct, right? And it enters into the small intestine and actually help in the breakdown or the emulsification of the fats. Yes. Yes, it is important. It comes in the examination, Rupam. Means by contracting. I didn't get your question, Ankit. If you can repeat that. Control and coordination mein, Ramesh, we have the video of Yashwara ma'am already on the channel. You can go and watch it. Okay. Chaliye. Then of course, they have mentioned about the enzymes, everyone. How many of you remember the enzymes of the pancreas? Pancreatic juices. We have the trypsin enzyme. They have mentioned lipase enzyme, right? They have mentioned each and everything. And I am telling you, everyone, nothing will come beyond NCERT. So please read the NCERT. Okay? Then of course, last part, the last chotu sa part where they're talking about the villi. Villi ka bhi there are two questions. Absorption and increase surface area. I'm sure you remember this, right? What is the role of villi? First of all, they help in the absorption of the digestive food. Second, they increase the surface area for the absorption. You remember, right? Very good, very good. Yes. Everyone, are we clear? Yes. Now, very interesting question on the large intestine. So, the undigested food, everyone, is sent to the large intestine where more villi absorb water from its material. So we can say that large intestine mein there are villi. See, where more villi absorb water from this material. So large intestine mein we will see the absorption of the water, no absorption of the food, and eventually the material which is waste will be removed from the body through the anus. Clear? The session will be 1 hour long. Jishna, I've answered your question, bache. It's there in the textbook itself. If you read the line, you will be able to see. Ma'am, what are the parts of, we have discussed in the session. We will not be discussing now. It's not in the syllabus. So not today. We have discussed in the class. And it's a very, controversial question that you have. You can have discussions in a group. I think in a class, right, it's not the discussion point over here. You can have it, you can have this discussion with your parents and with your friends. Okay, chaliye. They have mentioned about the teeth. Teeth should be healthy, we should clean it. If not, we will not be able to eat properly. The parts of the heart, the parts of the stomach are not there in the syllabus. Chaliye, all of you, are we clear with the digestion? All of you. See everyone, I know that. What can I tell you one thing? It's we all have that. Right? कि class में जैसे teacher आएगा आपको लगेगा आपको कुछ नहीं आता. But trust me, you know everything, right? You have been studying with us. We have so much confidence. Yes? So, see, I cannot sit with you and read line by line, but what I'm doing over here is looking at every paragraph, right? And we're just trying to find out the important questions. Explain भी कर रही हूँ, but explain की actually ज़रूरत नहीं है अभी, right? Yes, lot of stuff to remember, but if you read, अगर आप बार बार NCERT पढ़ेंगे, so it will be sorted. Trust me. हाँ, see, अब ये बच्चे बस बहस करते रहेंगे. Everyone, can you come on page number? Can you come on page number 100? Jaldi se, can you come on page number 100? All of you on page number 100. I hope that you can see this line. Or should I highlight this? Can you see this paragraph? The unabsorbed food is sent into the large intestine where more villi absorb water from this material. Am I clear? Yes? Everyone, are we clear? Yes. So I hope that no doubts on this. Read the textbook and it's there. Everything is there. Easy peasy. Very good. अब बच्चे पूछ रहे मैम डेंटल क्या है ये? दांत जब खराब हो जाते हैं ना, वो कंडीशन बैक्टीरिया की वजह से, कि दांत अच्छे से साफ नहीं करते, there are chances. Shreya, see over here. Just now I hope that you're not confused. Read it, right? It's there. It's clearly written, but of course, see again we have to understand there's a difference in the villi structure also, right? Now, the villi that we have in the small intestine, what are they doing? They're absorbing the food. And we have few types of villi, right? Not few types, we have the villi in the large intestine जो help कर रहे हैं the water absorption. Okay? चलिए. Yes. Okay. Now coming to the respiration, everyone. Right, everyone? I'm just looking at it. We are coming to the respiration. I hope that all of you are clear with it. Yes. Right. Dental plague. Acha. See, दांत में एक layer जम जाना, that is plague, right? There's a layer. Sometimes I'm sure you would have seen there's a layer of yellowish. When we eat something, if you're not cleaning our teeth properly, you will feel that there's a layer which is, kind of it's there. Right? And caries means nothing but something to get damaged. If the teeth are getting damaged, we call it as a dental caries. Ashok, all of you, see. Now this is a time when I want all of you to pay attention. कोई सुन ही नहीं रहा है मैम की बात. सब अपना बातें करने में लगे हुए हैं. फिर आप क्लास में क्यों हो? If you want to talk, if you don't want to listen to me, then you can leave the class. है ना? So everyone have some patience, right? Yes? Good. अगर सुन रहे हो तो बहुत अच्छी बात है. चलिए, let's move to the respiration, everyone. Now respiration में what we have, they are talking about the lime water experiment. I don't have to tell you, it's important, super important, so read that. Right? Lime water क्यों है? In the first paragraph of the lime water, this in the first paragraph, they're discussing this. So all of you, please make sure to read this thoroughly, right? This is super important. Super, super important. Now what we have over here, right? What are we discussing? We're discussing glucose, एक 6 carbon molecule है. It goes into the cytoplasm. Breakdown happens of 2 into the pyruvate. And then of course it has different fate. Aerobic and anaerobic respiration, and that's how we'll be getting the product. So if you have some difficulty in understanding this flow chart, please read this, right? Please read this paragraph and you will be kind of cleared. Yes, okay? Someone was asking me about ma'am activities. So bachche, Aishwarya ma'am did a special session specifically for the activities. Please go and watch that session, okay? Now, here we have, now this is something which we don't usually focus upon. It's okay, not that important, but please make sure you remember and read this. It talks about that how the ATP is formed. ATP has 3 phosphate, ADP has 2 phosphate, and once there's the addition of 1 phosphate, it forms the ATP, okay? This is an important thing that we all have to remember during the examination. Okay, then these 2 paragraphs, right? These 2 paragraphs talks about the plant, right, and the aerobic respiration. Now everyone, see, I want you to read this paragraph. Okay, everyone, I'm reading this paragraph. Please pay attention. Since aerobic respiration pathway depends on oxygen, an aerobic organism needs to ensure sufficient intake of oxygen. We see in plants, exchange happens through stromata, large intercellular space that all cells are contact with air. Carbon dioxide and oxygen get exchanged by the diffusion process they have mentioned, right? They can go into the cell and away from them. The direction of diffusion depends on the environmental condition and requirements of the plant. Clear? Then in the next paragraph, they're talking about the night. And here we have a very important question about the respiration versus photosynthesis in plants. I'm sure you would have seen this question. Why we should not sleep under the tree during night? Or do plants respire during the daytime or the night time also? Or do photosynthesis occurs in night? All of these questions, everyone, are kind of interrelated. Yes. And this paragraph helps us to understand that plants respire throughout the day and they release carbon dioxide and take up the oxygen. Right? Very good. So here we have all of that information. Right? Yes? Now, in this particular question, everyone, right? Over here, there is a breathing rate ka question. How many of you remember about the breathing rate question? There's a difference of breathing rate between the fish and the terrestrial organism. Yes? Ansh, please don't spam. You're disturbing my students. Right? You remember, right? So, we have this important paragraph. ऐसे बोलते हैं ना कि इस चैप्टर में सब कुछ important है. सच्ची में important है. मैं झूठ नहीं बोल रही. Yes, very good. It's more faster in the fishes. Yes. Okay. Clear everyone with this? Yes. Good, everyone. Okay. Now let's look over here, everyone. Now let's take a look over here. Okay. Yes, very good, everyone. Okay, now we are moving to this part, everyone. Of course, they're discussing about, they're discussing about the same breathing rate over here. And this part, right, is all about the humans. Everyone, can we just focus over here? Right, everyone, can we just focus over here? It's not about the, it's all about the humans, right? How we take, there's a passage of the air inside our body. Shiva sir, just everyone, can you give me 1 minute? Can you put me back into the blue screen? And everyone, I'll be disappearing for 2 minutes. Just be there with me. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll just disappear. Just 1 minute, sir. We don't have the dark reaction, bache. We don't have the dark reaction. So, yes, we don't have that in the syllabus. Yes, I'm still visible. That's okay. It's good that I'm visible. I think there's some things that we have to see. Okay, 1 minute. Yes, everyone. Now, 1 minute. Okay. Yeah, you can put me back. Everyone, there's a correction over here. Okay, yeah. Yes, you can put me back in. So everyone, there's a small correction that we have over here. Yes, right? So the correction that we have is in terms of the large intestine functions, right? So everyone, okay, then there was small confusion from my side, right? So in the new textbook, right, they haven't mentioned about the villi. They haven't mentioned about the villi, right? Clear, everyone? They haven't mentioned about the villi wala part, and they have clearly mentioned about the walls. Okay, so remember over here, everyone. Yes, really sorry for this confusion. Shiva sir, we have to take some action against Ansh bache. See, I think every teacher would say that you are kind of disturbing them now in the class, right? I don't want you to do that, right? When we come to your class, you can ask doubts there, right? So, please, do not disturb the class, okay? So, everyone, we don't have villi in the large intestine. Remember that, right? They're just talking about the walls. I don't know how the CBSE have just said that wrong thing in the textbook. Okay, chaliye. They have corrected themselves in the next publication. Shreya, Jishna, I think few of you have the doubts, so I hope that it's clear. Deepak, we don't have the dark reactions. There are videos on the live process. Please, you can go and watch it. Yes, okay. Villi are there in the small intestine. Yes, absolutely correct. They are there. Moving ahead, everyone. So, we have this particular part. Now, I wanted to focus over here. Right? Of course, the terrestrial organisms take the oxygen, right? And they have the whole of air passage. Now, the common question which is asked from the respiration is the passage, right? Yes, the passage that we have over here. So, we start with the nostrils, everyone, right? We start with the nostrils, then goes to pharynx, then of course goes to the larynx, then from there goes down, yes, of course to the trachea, and then of course into the lungs we have the bronchioles, bronchi, right? And of course at the end we have the alveoli. Clear? Yes, bronchi, bronchioles and the alveolar sacs, and at the end we have the alveoli, where of course we will see the exchange of gases. Right? Good. Right, so this is important. The flow is really very important over here. Then, in this paragraph, right, in this particular paragraph, they're just talking about how the exchange is happening. So, if you look over here, right, this part. Now this is a mechanism part of it. How the breathing happens, right? How we'll see the breathing happens. Clear, everyone? Yes? Very good, very good. So over here, there's a division, okay? What will happen to the diaphragm? What will happen to the lungs? Upward, downward movement, right? All of that is mentioned over here. Yes. Clear? Okay, very good. Residual volume is a volume which is present in the lungs, even if, right, we release, exhale all the gas out, it's there inside. Lodge is asking, ma'am, all the top, ma'am, more to know is important. Just give a reading at once. 1 marker, 2 marker question can comes from it. Okay? Everyone, are we clear with it? Good, very good. Ma'am. Yes, okay. Very good, everyone. You will be getting the notes on the Telegram group of 9th and 10th BYJU'S. BYJU'S 9th and 10th, you will be able to find out. Everyone, are we clear with this? Jaldi se bolo, we have just 15 minutes left. Part 2 karungi to I'm sure nahi chalega. Right? I'm sure you will miss it and you will have difficulties in finding it. So I know that आप लोगों के साथ में वो part 2 नहीं चल पाएगा, so we have to finish this in today's class. Yes, they are the same. Nasal cavity, of course. Okay, chaliye. Then this whole paragraph, everyone, talks about the mechanism, and over here, right, this particular thing talks about how the exchange is happening. That talks about the hemoglobin, right? How it has more affinity towards the oxygen, right? It is present inside the red blood cells. Red blood cells ke andar what we have? We have the hemoglobin, right? And carbon dioxide. This is a very interesting question, everyone, which came last year. Carbon dioxide is more soluble in water than oxygen, and hence it is mostly transported in the dissolved form in our blood. This was a very interesting question, right, which came in the examination, that how the transportation of carbon dioxide happens. It was in the accession and the reason. So we know that hemoglobin will be carrying the oxygen, right? But the CO2 transportation happens in the dissolved form in the blood. Everyone, are we clear with this? Yes. Jasprit, it's because of the cartilaginous rings that were there on the trachea. Yes, okay. Chaliye. Now, transportation, jaldi se. Now we have to focus on the transportation. So respiration mein, we have seen the important paragraphs. Now transportation mein, everyone, we are starting with the transportation. The first part over here talks about the components. Right? Components of blood. But they have not gone into the detail. Yes? Clear? This is important. So, yahan se, there's nothing much that can come in your examination. Maybe just what are the components of the blood. Right? Lymph, niche hai, so of course that will be coming later part. Now, okay, 1 minute. Yes. Here, everyone. Super important part. The heart. Now, please make sure to remember the diagram of it. Diagrams mein se they can show you the diagram in the examination and can ask you to label some parts. Right? It can come. Our heart mein what is important? 4 chambers, different types of valves, different types of arteries and veins. All of that thing is important. Clear? Yes? They haven't taught you about the proper, the cardiac cycle as such. They have mentioned about the contraction and the relaxation which happens. Clear? Yes? मैम खुद रीड कर तो समझ में नहीं आता, 2-3 बार पढ़ोगे तो समझ में आ जाएगा. डोंट वरी. यस. प्लाज्मा, क्या जसप्रीत? प्लाज्मा भी है, ब्लड में होता है. वेरी गुड. हाँ, एनसीईआरटी बहुत जरूरी है. यूजुअली एनसीईआरटी से बाहर कुछ नहीं आता, सो प्लीज रीड दी एनसीईआरटी. यस, चलिए. See, I'll not be going into the detail. It's not a class where I'm revising, but it's not a class I'm telling you. Yes, I'm not teaching you. We're just looking at the important paragraph. So very quickly everyone, right? This is the about the heart, and of course over here, what we have? We have the double circulation. So all of you just focus over here. 1 minute. All of you, just pay attention for 5 minutes. Actually less than 5 minutes. Let's quickly look at the double circulation. What is double circulation? The blood flows through the heart twice. Jaldi se. Right? One shot chahiye, one shot bhi aayega, jaldi aayega. Everyone, we are clear with this, right? What is double circulation? The blood actually moves through our heart twice. That twice, do bar aa raha hai. That is called as a double circulation. Our heart has 4 chambers. Left atrium, left ventricle, right ventricle. Right? Pulmonary vein carries oxygen-rich blood to the left side of the heart. Right? Pulmonary vein carries the oxygen to the left side of the heart. Then from there it goes to the ventricle. And from the ventricle to the aorta, to the rest of the body. Biggest artery is aorta and carries the blood to the different parts of the body. Carries to the tissues, right? And then of course the veins are there and capillaries are there that will be carrying the carbon dioxide. Rich blood to the right side of the heart. Vena cava will carry the deoxygenated blood into the right atrium, then to the right ventricle, and the pulmonary artery will carry it back to the lungs. Yes? Remember everyone, right? Diagram nahi aayega. See, abhi tak jo trend dekh rahe hain, they are not asking you to draw the diagram. So don't worry about it. They will ask you to identify the diagram. So you should know about the diagram. Clear? Yes? This is double circulation. We have different types of valves. Right? Now valves are the structure that will be stopping the backflow of the blood. Done? Good. Chaliye. So this what we have here. I'm telling you complicated hai. We have done a video. Please go through that video and everything will be sorted. Chaliye. Blood pressure. Blood pressure pe usually they ask you which is the instrument used to measure the blood pressure. Kya instrument hai? Jaldi se batao. Yes, very good, very good. Ma'am, name the blood vessel that brings oxygenated blood to the human heart. Pulmonary vein, right? From the lungs. Very good. Yes, sphygmoganometer. Bada lambi chaudi spelling hai. Please do remember it, right? And remember that what are the normal value of the blood pressure, right? Diastole, systole. Acha, ye mujhe batao. How many of you remember systole and diastole? Diastole, remember I told you diastole. इसको easy एकदम याद करने का तरीका है कि जब कोई इंसान dead रहता है तो क्या होता है? Relax है. उसकी body कैसी है? Relax है. So when the heart isn't relaxed, when there is no contraction, that pressure that we measure it, we call it as a diastole pressure. Systolic pressure, when there's a contraction happening. Very good. Remember that. That will be helping you in the future if you're studying the MBBS और हार्ट के बारे में अगर आगे पढ़ोगे तो. Yes. अंकित आंसर कर दिया बच्चे. Right? चलिए. Now we have the tubes, blood vessels, everyone. So we have arteries and we have veins. Arteries always towards away from heart and veins always towards heart. ठीक है? याद रहेगा ये. So in the blood vessels we have arteries and we have the veins. Arteries thicker wall because they endure the pressure. Veins thin walls because they don't have that much pressure. But veins have the valves. Yes? Remember that. Capillaries are the one small cell structures, right? Where they have just one single cell in their surface, in the walls, right? And they actually help in the exchange of the gases and the materials. मन्नत NCERT पढ़ लो, फिर कोई भी बुक पढ़ लो जो आपको अच्छी लगती है बच्चे, right? There are good books in the market. Reference book. Everyone. Then of course we're talking about the platelets. अच्छा platelets क्या करते हैं? Everyone, what are the role of the platelets? जल्दी. What are the role of the platelets? We know that we have RBCs, WBCs, platelets. These are the components, the cells of our blood. And then we have the plasma, which is fluid. Clotting of the blood. So everyone, in this particular paragraph, right, maintenance by the platelets, they're talking about the clotting. Right? So remember that. Then comes the most confusing part, I would say, that all of, majority of you sometime have, is the lymph. There's a video on the lymph. How many of you have seen the lymph wala video? Right? So lymph is nothing but a fluid, right, that is involved in the transportation. It's in a tissue fluid, right? It is coming from the pores present between the walls of the capillaries. Leak out hota hai, right? There's a leaking out from the capillaries, and it has plasma, protein, some blood cells, right? And of course, does not have the RBCs, does not have the platelets, it has WBCs. Clear? Then you can mention that this lymph, right, the tissue fluid forms lymphatic system, flows in the lymphatic vessels altogether, and it drains into the lymphatic capillaries and join the large vessels. What is the function, everyone? Here. Super important function. See this part, last two lines of the paragraph. Lymph actually help in carrying the digested and absorbed fat from the small intestine. Drain excess fluid back into the blood. Clear? Yes. Everyone, are we clear? It's a very chotu topic, everyone. Please do not get confused. What is lymph? They have mentioned over there. What are the function of it in the last two lines you have? Clear? Chaliye. अब आते हैं plants transportation. Plants में two things. छोटू सा. The transportation in plants is very small. Two important things. We have xylem and we have phloem. So these the two parts, right, talks about the energy requirement, right, and they talks about how the functioning is happening. Phloem help in the transportation or the translocation of the food, whereas xylem help in the transportation of the water from roots, right? That's what they have mentioned over here. Clear? Then over here they have talked about the transpiration. Yes, what we know about the transpiration? Transpiration is a process where we saw the loss of water molecules in a form of water vapor form. Right? This is important. Water vapors nikal rahe hain, excess water molecule, right? From the stomata, from the leaves, only the exchange will be happening, right? So you can mention about that. Root pressure, they have not mentioned about it, but they have certainly mentioned that there is a constant force that goes from the root pressure. Then we have the xylem and then we have the transpirational pull. Yes? Acha, I can see, ma'am, they're asking root pressure. What is root pressure? The pressure that we have on the cells of the roots. What happens as the water moves? They put pressure on each other, right? The walls become turgid and the water moves into the xylem. And xylem एक is a straw की तरह है. And ऊपर से we have the transpiration pull that is pulling up the water from the roots. All of you, are we clear with this? Quick thumbs up. Right? So this is a very interesting question, not directly asked in your textbook, but very easy peasy thing for us to understand. We have the root pressure. What we have? We have the root pressure, then we have the xylem in between, and at the last we have the transpirational pull. Yes. Okay. Yes, everyone. Very good. Chaliye. Yes, lenticels are also there on the stem. Shreya, I came to know. I was not writing anything big. I'm just drawing something. Okay. Now, transportation of the food, of course, they have mentioned about the phloem, everyone, right? How there's a utilization. And it's easy. It's not very difficult. Okay. So, this part talks about the phloem ka transportation. Okay, last part, everyone, excretion. The last part is the excretion. And excretion actually two things are important. The excretory system, you have to identify the excretory system ka parts. Should know the important role of kidney, nephrons, ureter, what are the important functions of it. And the other type of question which is asked is that how the urine is produced. Okay, what we have over here, we have the nephron, structure and the functional unit of the kidney, glomerulus, Bowman's capsule, all the parts, collecting duct. Over here they have mentioned, not in very much detail, but the 3 steps of formation of urine, right? We have 1 minute. I'll write over here. So we have filtration. I don't know why. You can't see, right? I don't know why you can't see me right. Okay. Can you see right over here? Filtration. We have the filtration. We have reabsorption and we have secretion. Right, everyone? 3 steps. Yes, Tanisha, bache, it is done with the help of the phloem, right? I'll not be able to explain you in detail in today's class, right? We're just looking at the important concept. We have a session on that. Please go and watch that session, right? So how the urine is formed? First, of course, the blood vessels will actually are coming in the Bowman's capsule. Inside the Bowman's capsule, what we have? We have the glomerulus. There will see the filtration happening. Bigger molecules will not be moving inside. Smaller molecules will be moving inside. All the good molecules will be reabsorbed and all the bad molecules will be secreted and they'll be going into the collecting duct and from there into the ureter. Yes, everyone, are we clear? What will happen if the kidney is removed? If one kidney is removed, we'll be able to live a normal lifestyle. But yes, we have to take certain precautions. If both the kidneys are removed, yes, nitrogen waste, filtration will not be happening and the person might lose their life. Doubt है कौन सी बुक पढ़ी है बच्चे? कोई भी बुक ले लो. I don't want to call out any specific name. NCERT पढ़ लो, NCERT exemplar पढ़ लो. उसके बाद whatever book, whichever book you are comfortable with the with the language which is written over there, you can pick that book. Done? चलिए. Then what is hemodialysis? This is nothing but the artificial kidney. Now this is a 2 marks question जो पूछा जा सकता है and it can come. It can come sometime if maybe in the case-based study also. Okay, if the person kidney is not working, what are the steps that will be happening? Simple hai, right? So, what will happen if the person's kidneys are not functioning well? The arteries of blood will be attached, right? Of course, artery will be attached to a tube. The blood will come out. It will go into a fluid, right? Which will be taking all the toxics out, right? The blood will get filtered out outside the body and the purified blood, right, will go back into the body again. Yes? Very good. With this, we have the last topic, which is the excretion in plants. Easiest topic, I would say. The most easiest topic that we have in this whole chapter is the excretion in plants, right? So it's focused on the excretion that is done by the leaves, right? I'll just highlight over here. Oxygen itself is a waste product. CO2 is a waste product. Water through transpiration is a waste product. We have other tissues like, we have leaves, sometimes the fruits falling, vacuole storage, right? And when the leaves fall, that is kind of a wastage only, right? Other waste products are stored as resin, gums, right? Especially in the old xylem. And plants also secrete some waste substance into the soil around them. So, as of now, they haven't asked much questions, but it could be that they can ask this time, so please do remember that. Ma'am, is it compulsory? Is it compulsory to draw the diagram only in the board examination? Actually, no. See, from the 2-3 years in the CBSE, right, the question paper does not contain any diagram which to draw, especially in biology. Okay? So, we don't have anything which we have to draw a diagram. So, don't worry about it. हाँ, बच्चे सभी excretion product यहाँ पे दिए हैं. Yes. In your internal examination, they might ask you to draw, but CBSE में नहीं पूछा था. Okay? Yes, hemodialysis here we have. Okay, ma'am, does the excretion affect soil? So that's what they said, kid. If they have any of the extra minerals or molecules, right, they release in the soil. They haven't mentioned what, but of course at a very lower level, the ions that are there. Good evening. You can draw the diagram, Jayant, if they have asked you. Don't worry. See, Tanisha, if in your internal examination they can ask, you have to probably draw, but not in the board examination. हाँ हम करेंगे, we will be revising, don't worry, we have the whole year everyone. We will be studying in such a way that you will excel, you will ace your examination. Yes. Okay. So everyone, I think we are done with this, right? Yes. I know, that's why we have to read the NCERT. Now everyone, बहुत simple सी बात है. Now the intent of this session was to go through the NCERT once with you, so you know that what are the important paragraphs. Now you have to do a pinky promise to your teacher कि book तो पढ़नी पड़ेगी, there is no way out. Do you think I can read on your behalf? I can't, right? So please make sure, now that we have gone through the NCERT textbook, we are clear that which paragraphs are important, where we have to look. Read it once, right? Write the important questions by using the pencil, write it, mark it down, keep it very close to the next of the paragraph ताकि आपको याद रहे कि क्या important questions है, and you will be sorted with it. Yes? Meaning of Henle loop, बच्चे अंकित, Henle loop is a part of the nephron. कोई इसका मतलब नहीं, उसका नाम है, जैसे आपका नाम अंकित है, उसका नाम हेनले लूप है. साइंटिस्ट का नाम हेनले था जिन्होंने डिस्कवर किया, इसलिए हेनले नाम पड़ा. Yes, Vikesh, please ask your doubt. Aditi, a little bit. Yes, next week prepare होना बिल्कुल बढ़िया है. Yes, student Ash, please जल्दी से पूछो doubt. I know, yes. So I will do one thing everyone. Please do write your doubts in the comment section. लेते हैं doubts को, right? Yes. Okay everyone. So on that note, I would say bye-bye. Please NCERT textbook पढ़ लेना, आप ही की भलाई होगी. We will be making sure that we are revising again and again with you so that you ace this particular chapter and all the other chapters that we have in biology. On that note everyone, I will be saying bye-bye. Do take care of yourself. Lots of love to each one of you. Please, you have pinky promised me कि आप NCERT पढ़ोगे, so please do read it. We'll be meeting really very soon, and on that note, lots of love to each one of you and keep on learning with BYJU'S. Bye-bye. Sorry? Yes. Okay. Weightage of this chapter. Weightage तो अभी NCERT से बताता नहीं कि क्या weightage है, right? So mostly you will have approximately more than 5-6 marks a question. Actually, 8 marks approximately. Can we end? Yes. We're just waiting for something. Something got stuck. We have got you covered. Absolutely correct. मैंने पूरा एक outro दे दिया, but something got stuck over there. So I'm still here with you. Yes. Those of you who have, I'm sure you have your maths class. If you want to, join that class, please go. We are just finishing our class over here. Lots of love, everyone. I'll be meeting you really very soon. Do take care of yourself and lots of love. Bye-bye, everyone. Good night.